Many people ask about intercooler piping. So from your turbocharger through the intercooler piping, through the intercooler and to your engine. So the intercooler size, does it matter? So basically, if you're having 2.5-inch piping, that would do for absolutely most applications, and this is what you can find in OEM applications as well. When you're tuning your car to maybe up to 600 horsepower, there's no one size fits all here, but approximately up to 600 horsepower, generally speaking, you would need around 2.5-inch 63 millimeters, and if you're doing above that, you might need to go to 3-inch piping. One thing could be if you have a bigger engine, maybe a V8, a 6-liter one, or a bigger engine displacement, you might need even bigger tubing, like 3.5-inch. So basically 2.5 to 3-inch piping would suit most needs, but many people are doing bigger tubing because there are differences in spool, if you should measure it in spool, but the differences aren't that much. If you're going from 2.5-inch to 3-inch, you mostly don't notice. So one important thing to bring up is always use long radius turns, and if you do short radius, divide them so you have one part first, like a 45-degree, and then you do the other part further down the stream. So use long radius bends, and don't use a bend after a bend, because that will build more back pressure. And also, what outlet do you have on your turbocharger? This is the minimum size you can use in your pressure pipes, the minimum. And if you're doing longer pipes, that would mean you might need a bigger tubing, because longer pipes with smaller tubing will also decrease the potential top power. So smaller piping would mean more spool, bigger piping would mean less spool, and smaller piping would mean less top end power, and bigger tubing would mean higher top end power. So that's some information about piping.